Hi everyone, I'm Garage,
Hi, and I'm Oz.
and this is the first inaugural edition of the Fatal Cast, the most lethal podcast around.
Yeah,
Big round of applause for ourselves for
yeah.
coming up with that name, coming up with this beautiful, luxurious design, that beautiful, fantastic pancake rabbit, and
hmm
damaged, slightly used, beautiful flamingo, courtesy of Oz and his illustrative skills.
Why, thank you, thank you. I
Uh,
am. I'm happy to be here.
I am overjoyed, ecstatic, and whatever other synonyms for happy you can come up with to be here. So today we're going to be talking about one of the recently released cards, the promo card Strime the Brewmaster. Not entirely sure on the pronunciation.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
We were not given a pronunciation guide, so
yeah, blame Galus. Go DM him and tell him that the name is fucked up because he put an
yeah.
E at the end.
Is his name Galus? We don't even know that.
Yeah, we don't even know how to pronounce his name. That's what I'm gonna go with. Come up with your own pronunciations. That's part of the
Yeah.
game.
Leave it down in the comments below.
Yeah, type out like phonetically, like
Just
how do you pronounce this? That's
just type it out the actual word. Don't do
yeah.
the
Don't
phonetic or
yeah.
whatever.
The like
Just write Strime.
yeah. We're also gonna be talking about the recent December tournament.
hmm
Like some of the decks in it. Some of what we saw, what we played.
Pros and
Uh,
cons.
yeah, as well as some of the upcoming balance changes, which are set to come in on Christmas Eve, actually. So
Ooh.
nice little Christmas present. Ziel finally gets nerfed.
hmm hmm
Ziel, pronunciation.
It's an ongoing theme in Vitacore.
Yeah, our grasp of the English language is tenuous at best. Um, as well as talking about some of the upcoming animated lead characters in our Patron of the Arts section.
Exciting stuff. Best for last.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it looks fantastic, but we can't spoil it just yet, even though everybody who's listening to this has probably seen it.
Yeah,
Um,
probably.
leave our detailed, critical analysis for the end of the art.
Sounds great.
All right, so starting off with Shrine. So recently, Strim, a fairly popular streamer, did a stream of Fatal Core, did a YouTube video on Fatal Core, gave his impressions, that sort
hmm
of thing, played it for a bit. And Fatal Core released a promotional card based on his likeness, which I want to say they actually statted and came up with the effect on stream. I didn't quite catch that. I had to leave
hmm
before the stream ended, but I want to say that's how it came into being.
Yeah, I think that's how it worked. I think you and I had to leave the stream at like the same time, so
Yeah,
neither of us
roughly.
saw. But I don't know. I don't really follow him. But like 1-8 apparently is like a thing, like a meme or something.
Yeah,
It's in the art too.
I briefly caught it. I think when somebody subscribed, it like played a voice effect where he said like "I'm 1/8 gay" or like something like that. I
Okay.
wanna say that's what it was. It's some joke on
It's
his
embarrassing
stream.
if it isn't that though.
Yeah, it's some joke on his stream. I'm not
Right.
super familiar with it either, but
So yeah, I think that's where the 1-8 comes from. I don't know what came up, like who came up with why they came up with the field change thing. But I think most, if not all, of his audience has never played Fatal Core before. So I think my guesstimation is that the field zones are like so, like that was the first thing that caught everyone's attention. So their first
right,
thing was, oh, what if we like fucked with that a little bit, you know?
right, yeah, that's a pretty unique aspect of the game, and it
hmm
results in a really interesting card. Looking at
Yeah.
its stats, like 1/8, very bulky. It's not like it doesn't place like a lot of offensive pressure on the opponent,
Right.
but it can like soak up some effects, and it actually synergizes pretty nicely with the card's effect, where immediately when you play it, it swaps fields with your opponent, just the field spaces, nothing on them. So like you don't
hmm
swap creatures or corpses or anything,
Yeah.
just the spaces.
Right.
So 1/8 stats lets him be really flexible with the field spaces. If you want to turn him into just like a total wall with a plus HP space, if if you want to
Hmm.
give him some offensive edge while still being pretty bulky with like a +2 attack, -1 HP space. You could even play him in Mana Magnet if you're facing Prisoner. He's very versatile. I think he's a super fun card.
Yeah, me too. I think the mana magnet thing is a really overlooked thing. I think you and I were talking about that a couple
Yeah.
days ago because how initialize works is it happens before anything else, I
Hmm.
think. So if you put it in your top left corner while you're playing Jetto or Joanne or whatever, and you're playing against Prisoner, you'll switch, and if they were playing a spell, then after the switch, he'll tribute himself or erase himself for a mana magnet. So I think
Right.
that's kind of like a cool interaction that I don't think anyone's really explored yet.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that either. I've seen him a lot, people playing Prisoner with Shrine, which is another cool application of Shrine because Prisoner, of course, has a lot of negative board spaces.
Hmm.
So you can go ahead and swap her spaces out for more balanced board with Jetto, more defensive board with Joanne.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. I'm a big fan of that. I think it's a fun interaction. I don't know how meta or impactful it will be, but I've played around with it and I think it's a lot of fun at least.
yeah, I would say it's probably the first application that came to a lot of people's minds was Prisoner. Just she has a crappy board for the most part outside Mana Magnet. Let's swap it out and then use those boards to beef up Prisoner's creatures.
Hmm.
Um, I think it's fairly effective. I don't think it's going to be like top of the meta, but it can. I mean, for one, it can enable like a more aggressive or even safer build for prisoners creatures. Like
Hmm.
Whispering Demon in Joanne's +2 HP space is really
That's
good, for
exactly what I was
instance.
thinking. Yeah, when
Yeah,
that goes off, it's so nice.
yeah, or like Augmented Brawler in a +2 HP space. Like now he has 5 attack, 6 health for a bee creature. Like that's crazy good.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, what was I gonna say? I think the most interesting tech that it beats is a card that no one plays because it's bad, but Shadow Stray.
Hmm.
If you switch with Shadow Stray and you take that zone, then he becomes a +3 -2, and with the 1/8 stats, he's like what like a 4/6 or something like that.
Yeah,
So I don't know, it's pretty cool. I think there's so much you can do, and with more cards coming out in the future, it can only get better.
yeah. I
So
think I think it can definitely because there aren't like a ton of super good field change cards in the game currently. There are a few
mhm.
currently in the game. Excuse me. That are pretty good. Uh, Earth Speaker as well. Like if your opponent is playing Earth Speaker, you can steal those +1 attack, +1 HP spaces for yourself. Um, yeah, so I think Shrime's a pretty interesting card in Prisoner, especially. He has some niche applications in Jetto as well, with Leyline Evocation,
Right.
because when you play that, it transforms one of your spaces into -3 attack, -3 HP. So you can use Leyline Evocation, then play Shrine, and give that to your opponent, possibly kill something with it. I think it's a little slow to be like really effective, but I think
Right.
situationally it can be pretty strong.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and again, if there's more spells in the future that do something like that, then you know it might be worth teching in Jetto. Who knows?
So, Galus, development team, whoever, if you're listening to this, add more field change cards.
Yeah,
They're
really.
cool.
Also, I think maybe we should mention how field change works right now because
Yeah,
that might change in the future.
yeah.
So currently, it's like a static thing; it never changes. So if you switch with Strime, then like that Shadow Stray is still going to get that +3 -2, but now you're also going to have a board space with that. If that makes sense.
Uh, what do you mean?
Like okay, so maybe like Lurja or whatever her name is. I don't know how to pronounce anything. The other um, S card that people play to get rid of the mana magnet zone before you switch with Strime usually.
Hmm.
She has a Rage 5. So if you put her in the mana magnet zone, she field changed to Rage 5. Next
Right.
turn you Strime, she still has Rage 5. But then like the other zone that you switch with also has Rage 5 now. So it's like it doesn't get rid of
Oh,
that.
I see. I see what you're saying. The
Yeah.
field change on the card's effect persists, and they change
Yeah.
it again. So, like, if
Right.
you have an Earth Speaker on your board and you play Shrine, uh, so then you swap spaces with your opponent.
Hmm.
Field or excuse me, Earthspeaker is going to change the new field that she's on into +1 attack, +1 HP.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. That's
basically, if a card has field change, they will apply that every single turn and
right. Yeah,
change the space they're on.
yeah. So
Um,
you can't like debuff them or anything with Strime.
yeah, another thing that I think is worth clarifying with field change, which may be changed in the future, I know there's been talk about it, is how it works in regards to summoned creatures. So, like, if you summon a token creature by a card effect, such as Dream Sequence Beta or Emerge with Joanne,
Hmm.
the effect of that field will not apply to that creature until the next turn,
Yes,
which is kind
it's
of
really
weird.
weird.
Yeah, exactly. It's not very intuitive. Uh,
No,
I think that's going to be changed in the
I think so. I
somewhat
think that's a
near
good thing to
future.
change.
Yeah, I think that's a good change. It eliminates a lot of confusion.
Yeah, I think it's really stressful and annoying for new players. That's like one of the first things I have to explain. It's like I don't know why it's this way, but
That's
just get
just how
used
it
to it.
is, you
Yeah.
know. It's stressful for me. I'm playing like Fatal Core late at night. I'm like, oh fuck, I don't remember how this works. I'm just gonna play things and.
Oh, the worst part is when like your opponent betas, and so it's at the start of your turn, and you're trying to decide if you want to hide this card or not, and you're looking, and that beta token, I forget what they're called, like the
Elemental Knight.
Elemental Knight, he won't have the buffs or debuffs that the field will give him at the start of the turn yet. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna trimmer because he's like a 3/3, but he's on a -1/+2 space or something. So you trimmer, and then he goes up to a 5 HP, and you're like, oh fuck.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everyone's done that late at night.
Yeah. It's confusing for sure. Um,
Yeah,
so Strime overall, I think he enables a lot of fun decks. Fun, kind of gimmicky.
a little bit.
I mean, I say kind of gimmicky. Like, if you're trying to build like a Shrine deck, like it should still be fairly okay, even if you don't draw a Shrine. Like like an aggressive prisoner deck, like you can still win games without drawing Shrine, but he enables very fun synergies for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I hope
All
in
right.
the future to see some people playing him against prisoner to steal her mana magnet, like when you're facing like
Yeah,
a control prisoner, and now you
yeah,
can just stuff her spells for the rest of the game.
that would be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, I haven't seen that myself, but it's definitely one application of Strime.
Maybe in the next tournament.
Maybe. I personally will not be testing that. Everybody else can test that. I don't think it's that good, but you can definitely try it, and maybe it is. You know, I've been wrong very frequently when judging cards, so my
I've never been wrong, so I can't relate
oh,
to that. But
I know
yeah,
you're Nostradamus in the flesh, right
yeah,
here.
I've been told.
I I just told you. Uh, so
All
overall,
right.
I give Shrine a 6 out of 9. He's pretty fun, pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd give him a 4 out of 20, but that's like a good score. But it's a meme. It never mind. Just
I think
yeah,
4 out of 20 is too low.
maybe a 20 out of 4.
That's pretty good. I'd
Okay.
go with that.
Okay. Cool. That works.
So moving on to the December tournament,
Hmm.
saw a lot of interesting decks, a lot of really close matches between players. Um,
Yeah.
you know, I guess one of my first impressions was there's very little Joanne. I was surprised because I think
Hmm.
Joanne, I thought she'd be more attractive to a lot of players just because she has a very safe playstyle with her spaces.
Hmm.
But I mean, prisoner, like the control aspect is really fun, being able to lock down your opponent. Jetto, very versatile, very strong. So,
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I think Joanne is. I was a little surprised. I mean, I played Joanne, and yeah, I don't think. I don't know. I was kind of surprised myself, but I suppose it makes sense because I think Prisoner is like by far like the most sexiest. Not, but like the play style, the aesthetic.
yeah, the aesthetic, her
It's
ballistics.
like
Okay.
yes, it is. It's. I feel like I see the most people like who start out a Fatal Core just immediately go to Prisoner. I did that. And I remember everyone's like, Prisoner is the hardest one to master. Do you really want to do
Yeah,
this? I'm like, oh yeah. And then halfway through, it's like, okay, this is actually hard. I'm gonna switch. Um,
yeah, that's funny because I actually started off with prisoner as well. um,
Hmm.
way back when. Because I played Prisoner a lot during like the really early stages of Fatal Core. So I
When
was
nothing
like,
had art, yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then shortly after we introduced the like new account system with like packs and all that, you had to select your lead character. There was like a soft reset. Yeah, I went with Prisoner, and it was all right. It was not the easiest, but it was good. You know, I did
Hmm.
not pick her based on her aesthetic, unlike you. I picked
Oh,
her based on her personality, uh, as well as her playstyle.
that's fair. That's fair. So yeah, I was expecting a lot of Prisoner because of that, and I think Jetto makes sense too because like Beta is just like just you can't see this, but I'm doing the Italian.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
It's a
he's just
good
so
card.
good.
It's
It's
a
a great
very good
opener.
card. Yeah, I mean it remains good throughout the entirety of the game. Just being able to summon
Absolutely.
2/3/3s who also don't get killed by spells immediately.
Hmm.
Um, it's very good. Yeah, I expected a lot of Jetto, and I did see a lot of Jetto just because he's probably the easiest to learn, and he's still very strong with a lot of his deck types.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Um. So what overall like what were some takeaways you think you took away from this tournament?
So going into the tournament, I had speculated that Solus Jetto would probably be the best deck to play, just because it matches up either favorably or evenly versus just about every deck, given
Hmm.
the nature of Solus, which is remove creature effects from everything and then beat your opponent's face in. And you have safe stuff like Dream Sequence Beta. You can play Ziel because he's broken,
Hmm.
or at least he was before the upcoming balance changes, which we'll get to later. You abuse Ziel, you know, remove card effects so you don't have to worry about stuff like Bell or I guess like an opposing Barghast. Um,
Hmm.
and then capitalize on all the soulless creatures with cards like Leyline Stag. Uh, so I thought Jetto was probably the strongest deck, or excuse me, Soulless Jetto was probably the strongest deck. Um, there are some matchups where, well, it's hard for me to think of a matchup where he's not at least like even.
Yeah, especially after you end up winning it, like I was like, man, I think Solus. I might be a little too ignorant, but I really think Solus is just like good. Like it is just
Yeah,
really good. Like
it's
doesn't really have a bad matchup.
right. Like I was afraid of a lot of people running Solus because I thought everybody was going to be like, oh shit, Solus is so good. So I was actually running Dizra in my deck for a while because he has
He's
some
a
big
big boy.
stats. Yeah, he had 6 attack, 4 health. So I was like, okay, this will give me the edge when I'm in the mirror match. And I didn't run in, or no, I think I ran into one other Solus Shadow. B Kissel was playing him.
Oh,
Um, so I ended up taking Dizra out for a second CL, like halfway through the tournament, because I was like, nobody's running Soulless Shadow. I don't
so
really
you might as
need.
well just be super dirty and play two Zeals.
Yeah, might as well go full scumbag, abandon my soul, become soulless myself, throw out the two ZLs.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
I don't know, is 2ZL even that good? The answer is yes. Uh, but you have to be careful because he does generate a lot of corpses. So like you
Yeah,
need
yeah,
to
you have to be
have
smart with them.
you need to have a Grim Harvest or an Enthralled Phantom or something to
Or
keep your
Scion, oof,
Scion as well to keep yourself from getting flooded, especially versus Prisoner because she can wreck your day if you're not careful.
absolutely.
So what are like some of the decks that you were running into in the tournament?
Um, I played against Squid's Joe or Jetto deck. It kind of seemed like Jetto good stuff. Like I don't know what the exact strategy was.
Yeah, I saw he was playing like good cards like Dream Sequence Beta, um,
I
Portal
was playing
Keeper.
Pawn,
Yeah,
which Pawn's like one of my favorite cards, and I was like, ooh, Pawn and Jetto, okay.
I think he was playing like a token Jetto sort of deck.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah. I never really saw like the full idea come together. Um, what else did I play against? Originally I ended up actually dropping or lose. I lost the first round because I was playing a really bad Wisp deck,
Yeah,
and
Wisps,
yeah,
not
they're bad.
that. I'm not gonna call them straight up bad, but I'm gonna call them inferior in comparison to Jetto's token decks, at least currently.
Yeah. So luckily I got a second Breath of Life because Meteor dropped and someone like just how the things worked. I end up uh, going on to the second round, and I was like, okay, well if I'm gonna do this again, I'm gonna build an actual good deck. I think. Um, and I can't think of who else. I played against a priest, but I don't remember what he was playing.
I played against A Priest as well. I want to say he was running Prisoner, like Control Prisoner. I might be getting him confused with another deck, but I think that's what he was running.
Right. I honestly cannot remember. I feel like I played against a lot of Jetto and just like things like that.
Yeah, I feel like I played against probably Prisoner the most, actually, at least with who I matched up with. I played against a few Jettos, but mostly Prisoner, actually.
I didn't get to play against Game Wizard, which had the most
Oh,
innovative deck.
well, let's talk about Game Wizard. Game
Yeah.
Wizard's deck and Game Wizard's match versus Squid, doing the
Oh gosh.
impossible, pulling off what was probably the greatest match of Fatal Core I've seen. I'm saddened that I did not record it.
Yeah,
So
I know, man.
Game Wizard was running a Control Prisoner deck featuring, I want to say, two copies of Curse of the Gargoyles. Which what Curse of Gargoyles does is it summons three gargoyle tokens in a row that you choose on the opponent's board. Gargoyle tokens, I want to say, have 0 attack, 2 health, and
Yeah.
each turn they deal 1 damage to the controlling player and 1 damage to themselves. So they clog up your board and they do damage to you
Hmm.
until they die. Um, so very interesting control card for
Yeah.
just trying to fill up your opponent's board with corpses, basically.
Yeah, it was a really cool idea because when I first saw it, I thought he was trying to go for like a burn style, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
think Gargoyles is very good at that. And I was like, that seems like he got that in Phantom Drive. Like, I don't think you're gonna be winning that many games with that. But then when I noticed on his stream, he kept putting it in like if he's playing his prisoner, he put it in the mana magnet zone. I'm like, well,
Right.
you're gonna lock yourself out of spells. He's like, no, the idea is it's gonna kill itself, and then he's gonna clog up that zone. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
And it seemed, I mean, it did pretty well. He got second, so um,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
very disruptive, and I think if you're not prepared for it, you will get smashed by it.
yes, it
Um,
is. It can be scary.
yeah, I mean, as evidenced in Squid's match versus Game Wizard, he managed to, through the use of gargoyles and a bunch of prisoner removal, stuff like merciless lashing, he's able to fill up Squid's board entirely with corpses. Squid then removed them with Grim Harvest, and then he did it again with another copy of gargoyles. It was crazy. I've never seen that.
It's mean.
Yeah,
It's
cruel.
yeah. I mean, because he's not trying to really go for the kill. It's just he's more like trying to make sure you can't kill him. Because I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean,
gargoyles are going to do damage to him anyway. So if he can just stall you for 8 turns, then who
yeah,
cares? He wins.
I mean, if you get the entire board filled with corpses, they're just stuck there, and then you can just smack them in the face repeatedly.
Yeah, and then you just keep playing something in the mana magnet zone, negate
Yeah,
the only thing they can do, and then bada bing, bada boom.
you're dead.
Yeah,
Gargoyles.
yeah.
Are they the next meta hit piece? I don't know what to call them. Um, what do you
Strategy.
think? Strategy.
Uh, I don't know. I think a lot of it was just no one knew what to do or expected it at all.
Yeah, I think the element of surprise definitely played a strong role in how successful they were.
Right. And maybe he'll be able to get around that and play around the play around.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think he played a little too direct. Like if I feel like you could kind of read what he was going to do next, and so especially if you're playing prisoner yourself, just constantly put something in the mana magic zone, and
Yeah,
that really
he,
just shuts him down.
yeah, he was maybe a little too predictable with like going with it on turn one pretty frequently.
Right. So I think he could, if he keeps working on that, it could still be a really good deck. I don't want to discredit it. I mean, he got second. I got third, so he did better than me.
Right.
So I cannot shame him at all. But yeah, I think that's kind of the problem is it's a little too predictable. But I think even when he's playing against Stu, he was trying to play around you knowing what he was playing.
Right. Yeah,
Because I
definitely.
think he threw in like Bound Siren, which I think is an interesting tech.
Hmm.
It's pretty good in Prisoner to start with. And if your opponent's playing like a Mana Magnet, then that's a good way to just kill those, and
Yeah.
then you're open to playing Gargoyle. So I think there's some potential.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think gargoyles have potential to be a strong deck. Um, I think because the other issue with gargoyles is they are kind of slow tempo wise. Like if your opponent just plays like a strong creature
Right.
or like a dream sequence beta, and if they play it in the same row as your gargoyles, that gargoyle just won't spawn. The
Yep.
creature they play takes precedence over
Hmm.
the gargoyle spawn. So you can get out tempoed really easily. But the thing is with the gargoyle deck is you don't necessarily care that much about tempo. What you care about is just getting their entire board filled with corpses because then they have zero tempo and they just sit there and you can smack them repeatedly. And
Exactly.
like tempo doesn't matter when you
Right.
just completely send them to a grinding halt.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's so great with Prisoner because like that's Prisoner's strong suit. It's just spells that just do a shit ton of damage.
mhm.
So he'll let you fill up your board, and then he'll just kill everything with all these spells. And then after that, you're like, well, I have to draw into Grim Harvest.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
Like okay, like you're playing creatures, that's cool. I'll play gargoyles, then mind crush, then merciless lashing, then tremor, and now all your shit's dead, and you're gonna die too.
Right. Yeah, and then he can just summon Zeal or whatever the hell he wants and
Yeah,
just
just
poke.
anything, just
Yeah.
smack, 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 and they're dead.
Yeah, it's a really
Um,
cool idea. I liked it. I was glad that something unique like that did so well.
yeah, it was totally unexpected. Um, Speaking of which, I lost a match last night to Max, who was playing two copies of Gargoyles as well, and I was
Oh,
not expecting it.
I didn't know
Uh,
about
yeah,
that.
well, it happened. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna lose. Why didn't I play Enthralled Phantom? I played Scattershot on the turn he played his second copy of Gargoyles.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I was
Oh,
like, oh no.
oh gosh.
So I think
So he
Gargoyles
had
have,
both. He had
yeah,
both, like turn one, turn two. That's
yeah,
gross.
he was hiding both of them. Um, so I think Gargoyles definitely have potential. Um,
Yeah,
I don't know if they'll ever be like top, but I think they'll be up there. Pretty good.
yeah,
Element of surprise definitely, and corpse lockdown is a strong strategy.
for sure. I don't think they have that many bad matchups. It's really just mind games. I think. Like if you're a little too predictable, then that's where the fault of the deck is. I think because it can not too many decks can play around just having a board full of corpses. Like
Well,
that's
the
pretty
play
good.
around is turn two. You play Enthralled Phantom, and
That's true.
now their
Yeah,
gargoyles are worthless.
that's fair. That's fair. Yeah,
Um, so I think there is room for play around, but if you don't see that coming, and your board's crowded, you're done.
true.
Um, so
Ravenous Construct has a really fun interaction with gargoyles, though.
yeah, you can scoop up all the gargoyle souls and make a big ass construct.
Yeah, it's a little mean, but oh well.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
So I was going to say, moving on to the results of the tournament. So,
yes, that's what we're gonna talk about.
do you have the list up, or because I think I remember where everyone finished?
I can look real quick.
Okay, I know for
Um,
sure. I finished in first. Went totally undefeated. Didn't lose a single match. Soulless Shadow, pretty good. Um,
just a little bit.
just a little
Um,
bit.
yeah.
Game Wizard came in second.
Hmm.
You came in third.
Hmm.
Um,
It
fourth
was
place was Squid, and
Squid.
fifth I think was A Priest.
It was Belgia.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
because A Priest lost to him, and then before that, what's his name? Crimson or something?
Yeah,
Just
Crimson Phoenix. He
just
forfeited.
forfeited. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame him. You need that sleep, especially
Yeah.
now that school is let out, winter break.
Right.
Definitely feel that. So Belgia, 5th place, well done, and
Yeah.
congratulations to everyone. Everyone played really well for the most part. Um, Lots of interesting decks and card choices within those decks. I know Belgia in particular was playing Ravage in Prisoner, which is not a very commonly seen card. It
Is that that red card? Like
yeah,
with the claw or something?
yeah, it reduces the stats on your opponent's board by -2 attack, -2 health. It, or excuse me, it reduces a creature's stats by -2, -2, and then it repeats twice, I think. I forget the
Oh,
condition for it, because the only time I've seen it was when Belgia was playing it. But
huh. I had no clue what he was playing, so that's interesting.
I just spectated one of his matches. Um,
Let's see if I
so,
can find it.
yeah.
Spell erase target creature with power 2 or more on your board. Success, give a random opposing creature -2, -2. Repeat 3 more times.
I think
Wow.
that's really good. That's
Wow.
probably a pretty underlooked card.
Yeah. Yeah. I did not realize I did it 4 times. That's
That's
nutty.
pretty good. I mean, I guess the main flaw with it is that it's an A card, and A is always competitive. Lots of good cards. Prisoner, especially of Gruesome Legion.
Yeah.
Callous Mage is good. Uh, Other cards, Bound Siren,
Oh,
whatever.
demon. Yeah.
Yeah, Whispering Demon.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really hard, especially in prisoner. Well, it really yeah, it's just an A. It's really hard to squeeze a tech in the A
Hmm.
spot.
I think it has good potential. Maybe
Yeah,
Gargoyles and Ravage. So, like, you don't
that'd be nice.
necessarily have to kill everything, you can just debuff them.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. Well,
Um. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. Who else was there? Fourth was okay. Yeah, we talked about Squid was playing Jetto Token.
Hmm.
I
What were you playing?
I was playing. I called it High Priest Lock. It's basically just neutral Joanne. Um, I think I was playing Erase and Ascend. Is that the spell? The C spell?
Yeah, the
Um,
sea spell that,
with the boobs.
yeah, the. I don't know if I want to make the joke. The obvious joke.
Yes,
Um,
yes. If you're not in the Discord, then I'm sorry you don't get that joke. But
okay, well, the joke makes you nut, and maybe you surrender in that post nut clarity.
yeah, post nut clarity.
Yeah, after seeing the Ascend art.
Yeah,
Very
and I won a
vivacious.
surprising amount of games with that, to be honest.
Yeah, you won versus me. I
Yeah.
couldn't take it. It's too strong.
But yeah, so those were the only 2 cards I believe that were Joanne that was in my deck. Because Joanne cards are pretty weak. I think we've talked about that on the Discord a lot.
Yeah, but
Um,
currently there are some buffs on the way.
yes, yes. Yeah, I'm really excited to talk about that. So yeah, the whole idea was to play cards that do damage to opponent's creatures and then erase them with High Priest. I was playing Ariel because I was playing Zeal, and those
Hmm.
two just go amazing together. Belle was the other one, which she's really good, but she's weak to a lot of things because of her stat line. Mainly Solus. This deck has a horrible Solus matchup, I think, because it's
Yeah,
all creature based. Um, and yeah, it was just High Priest, like double High Priest, double Spell Thief, which mana magnet and does damage, so it's perfect. Things like that. I think it's a really good deck, but yeah, oh my god, it cannot beat Solus. Solus is just rude. Like an Ashen Dancer is just like that just kills your combos half the time. Because I don't have that many big creatures. I think 4 attack is the highest attack I have.
yeah, like
Uh,
Ziel and Spell Thief and that
Spell Thief,
deck.
yeah. So that's it. So like if you start like if you have to play Bell turn 1, which you don't want to do that in general, but like if you had to, and they like Ashen Dancer, you're like okay, well 2/2, and then next turn they're just gonna go ham. So it's pretty tough, but I think it beats a lot of road decks and a lot of it's really good against Prisoner because Prisoner already has low stats to begin with.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I think that deck matches up pretty well against most decks I've seen outside of Solus.
Right. So yeah, I was pretty impressed with it. I kind of took it from Medium Joanne and made it my own. Um, but yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. And then yeah, so then there was Gargoyle, Prisoner Gargoyle second, and then you got Solus with first. You want to talk
Yep.
about your deck a little bit?
Yeah, I talked about it a bit earlier. So within my deck, I actually need to post it in the Discord. I forgot to do that. was meaning to do that yesterday with like a explanation. So with my deck, I built it to match up well against most decks that I've seen. Main fear was token decks, creature damaging decks like what you were playing, and opposing Soulless Jetto slash Jetto token decks. So I crammed in with Soulless Jetto. I'd say B slot is probably the most difficult because there are a lot of things you want to include, like Shrine Servant for Mana Magnet, Leyline Evocation for just straight hard removal, Ashen Dancer for just instantly making something soulless, Leyline Stag for pushing out a lot of damage. Other like Soul Shift you can try as well. There are quite a few good cards in B. Trance of Rage is kind of hard removal as well. In my deck, I was swapping around 2 Leyline Evocations and 1 Leyline Evocation and 1 Shrine Servant. That was probably the most frequently changed thing. Like, I really couldn't decide. Because otherwise the deck had no Mana Magnet. I couldn't fit it in A.
Right,
with
yeah, you
Spell
can't.
Thief. Because I was running, in A, I was running 2 Dream Sequence Beta, 1 Starborn Horror, and I forget what my other A card was. It wasn't Spell Thief. I can say that for sure.
Right.
I forget what my other A card was. Oh, Vengeful Scion.
Oh, right. Yeah. Gosh. Yeah. Great card.
So I ended up keeping for finals 1 Shrine Servant, 1 Leyline Evocation, because I feel like you don't play 2 Leyline Evocations in a match very often, especially in Soulless, since Soulless kind of functions as removal, kind of a soft removal. 2 Leyline Evocation does help consistency with drawing 1 when you need it. So I think there's a debate as to which one is better.
Absolutely.
But ultimately,
it's just weird not playing any Mana Magnets, though. So
yeah, I decided I just don't give a fuck about spells, which actually worked for most of the tournament. But then I decided that I do give a fuck about spells because, like, I could see myself losing games to, like, Gruesome Legion and Incendiary Stream and other powerful spells like that. So I tossed one in, and it helped versus Game Wizard for sure. So I'll post the exact deck list. Give a detailed explanation in there. Maybe throw it up on the screen. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. And mine's already there too with a detailed description. I can put it on the screen too. If you're listening and you're not in the Discord, please join the Discord. There'll be a link in the description.
We probably should have said that at the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah, probably.
So like 30
this
minutes.
This is about Fatal Core, the TCG, by the way.
Yeah.
For new people that are listening for some reason.
Yeah, it'll be in the description.
Yeah.
Near the top. So, yeah, hats off to everybody in the tournament.
I like clapping and posting more.
Big round of applause. So moving on to the upcoming bounce changes. So these are planned to be implemented New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve.
Yeah, Christmas, yeah.
So depending on when this podcast goes up, they might already be in. Quite a few interesting changes. A few just clearing up card text where like there were some typos. So I guess just going from top to bottom with what is listed, we start by talking about Sinister Matron. So she's being changed. So Sinister Matron is a C prisoner card. She's being changed to 3 attack, 3 health. Each turn, give a random test subject or alchemist coffin you control. Resolve 2. Oz, what are your impressions of this matron?
I think she's so much better now.
Yeah, me too.
Because I believe her original thing was like she's a 0/6, and if you control a coffin or a
it was just a test subject.
Oh, it's just a test. Oh gosh. Then she would like buff herself, like do like a +2/-1 or something.
I think it was +3/-2. I don't remember.
Yeah,
the card.
It might have been that.
I never played it.
Yeah, it's horrible, and I mean it's also bad against Soulless, which again, like not
yeah, that's another thing.
But like a 0/6 is just like I don't know how I feel about that. But C's are there's not that many great C creatures to start with. But like her stat line's great, and she can give resolve to a test subject, which is like really cool. I
Yeah, it
think.
sticks around. I think like test subjects up until now have been pretty weak. Like a test subject focus deck, like it's
Right.
slow, and then the test subjects themselves are slow, and by that point you're already getting your face beaten in. Jetto is shitting tokens all over you.
Mm-hmm.
Joanne has played cards that do something, and you're losing. Um,
Sometimes.
yeah, test subjects just take a while to do things outside of Gruesome Legion.
Right. Yeah.
Uh,
Gruesome Legion's obviously amazing, but like you would never want to play a test subject, let alone you didn't want to play Matron or Coffin before these erratas. So
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say absolutely never, just because I like to leave some room for uncertainty,
yeah.
but yeah, I would agree they were not very good. I think
Hmm.
Sinister Matron will, her new change will really help that deck.
Yeah.
She has good stats, balanced by Prisoner having negative spaces, um, and she lets your dudes stick around for longer.
Yeah. I really like her. I mean, she can be a 2/2 now with like the -1/-1.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't Prisoner have a +2/-1?
Yeah,
So she can. I mean, she can be pretty beefy too. So I
yeah.
really like her.
Yeah, I think she's really good. I don't think she's going to be overpowered. I think she's
No.
going to be sufficient enough to hopefully let test subjects shine a little bit.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
excited.
yeah, me too. Along with that is a change to another one of Prisoner's test subject related cards, Alchemist Coffin, which is a B prisoner card. So it now reads each turn, if there are less than 3 creatures on your board, summon a test subject into a random space on your board. Success, deal 3 damage to Alchemist Coffin, 0 attack, 6 health. So it previously used to be end of turn. Now it's each turn. I don't I don't know.
It also got
Um,
an extra HP, right? It was a '05, I think. I'm making
um
that up.
I don't remember. It might have been an '05. Uh eh, I still don't think it's like amazing. It's still pretty slow.
Yeah, but
Uh
at least it won't die to spot removal kind of stuff before it can resolve, which is nice.
I think I mean it's good in like +2, -1.
Hmm.
Because it's each turn instead of end of turn now, your test subject will actually have a chance to fire off on the same turn it's summoned. So that's
Oh yeah,
important.
yeah. Didn't think
Um,
about that part.
yeah, that's the main, I think, change here with Alchemist
Hmm.
Coffin. Um, I think it will also be pretty good in Shrine decks, or at least better in Shrine decks now.
True.
I'm like in my head, I'm like brewing up like a Shrine test subject deck. Um,
And I mean, I think it's nice that at least Matron can also give it resolve too. I don't think it's ever going to happen, but like
I
it's
mean, it
nice that it
can,
happens
yeah,
before.
it can let you get out some more dudes.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, it's a small buff, but it's an important buff, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
Hopefully, this and Sinister Matron are some better glue to hold together the archetype. Along with another one of the buff cards, Biohazard. I want to say the
Sure.
card text is still exactly the same. It's a prisoner card that was previously a B. Now it's a C. And it gives every creature in a target row on your opponent's board -1/-1, and then gives every test subject on your board +1/+1. So, test
Pretty neat.
subjects, yeah, hopefully going to be a thing.
Yeah, I have some high hopes for them. I think they can actually do something now. So
Yeah,
like
I think they'll not lose
not
instantly.
suck. Yeah.
Yeah. um, yeah, I think they have potential to be strong. So moving on.
Yeah,
Um,
not too much to say about that. I think it's just nice that it's a C now. So
yeah, yeah. It's not directly competing with a bunch of other good cards anymore, like Merciless Lashing, Brawler, Alchemist Coffin.
oof,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, Duplicate or Replicate. I forget the name of the card. Uh,
Disorient?
No, it's I'm talking about the card that erases a test subject and then summons two.
Oh yeah, I think it's replicate. Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's also a B. So a lot of test subject synergy was also crowded in B. So that'll help.
Right.
Noble Guardian, um, exact same card. It's just fixing a typo from
Yeah.
Hunter to Hunt. Moving on, another prisoner card being buffed, Mutant Master, which is
Mm.
an A. Its HP has been buffed from, I want to say it was previously 3 to
I think so.
6. So this will hopefully enable a new archetype, the bioweapon archetype.
Bioweapons. Is it a 5/6 or 6/5?
It's a 6/5 soulless.
Right. Pretty cool. I think it'll be a lot of fun. It's a card I've never really tried outside of a couple games.
Yeah, I played
Um,
it. I played it briefly when I started playing. The issue is it's before it was slow 4 and it was super frail, so it would die a lot of the time before you could get your bioweapons out.
right. I don't know. I think it'll be pretty cool too. I like the mutants, so I hope they can build some sort of deck with them. No, that isn't horrible.
I think this will be a good control-y, aggressively beat your face in with 6/5 tokens deck. It's kind of early for me to say, and my brain is kind of stalling because I was like trying to build the deck in my head. I'm like, no, I'll try it when it gets buffed, and it'll
Yeah,
probably be at least decent.
yeah. I'm excited to try it.
Speaking of cards, which will hopefully be at least decent now, we have Brilliant Strategist, who was he previously an A? I don't think so. He was a B. He was a
I
B.
think he was always a B. Yeah.
Okay. So Brilliant Strategist, he has been buffed. His stats have been buffed from 3/2 previously to 4/3.
Was it
So
3? I thought it was like 02 or something horrible like that.
I don't think it was that bad. I want to say it was 3/2.
Let me look it up. Um, Luckily I have his Joanne. Um, yeah, he was 02.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like outrageously bad. Like slow 4, you play him and he fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Worst card in the game. Okay, maybe
Yeah, he
not.
was.
Actually, yeah, no, he's the worst card in the game. Fuck
Yeah.
Brilliant
Before the buff,
Strategist.
I would 100% agree.
Yeah, but now, uh, probably pretty good.
Yeah, I think he makes
Well,
this a lot better.
yeah, maybe I'm speaking too soon. Maybe not pretty good, but probably at least decent.
Yeah, I mean, like he gives a better attack buff than like Soul Sculptor, but he
Mm,
doesn't give defense. So Wisp always have this problem of like there's like 15 different cards that all give different sorts of buffs. Like there's Reader, there's Monk, there's Alicia, there's like all these things that you have to like weigh your options. But he has
yeah,
better than like attack wise than Sculptor. So there's always I think he's worth trying. Before he was by far the worst one, and you would never want to try him.
yeah. I think now what he allows for is as you move into the mid game and late game, he lets you really push that offensive pressure because he has big 4 attack and then he can give something +3 attack each turn. So he
Hmm.
really lets you start pushing damage.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
really excited.
yeah, he does require 3 creatures on board and he's slow 4, but hopefully by that point you played in a merge or something similar, and you can play your Brilliant Strategist, start buffing things, and hopefully out damage your opponent. So I think Brilliant Strategist is at least decent, possibly
Yeah,
really good.
yeah, for sure.
And Kindling Monk just fixed a typo. He didn't have the Joanne like
Yeah.
nameplate under him. Now he
Yeah,
does.
I didn't even know he wasn't a neutral. Like I
Oh, you thought he was neutral?
yeah, I thought he was neutral.
No. Well, see, that's why this errata is being made. He is a Joanne card.
Yeah. I mean, he
Uh,
works really well with Joanne, so it makes sense. But yeah.
yeah. Astral Guide. So Astral Guide's field change has been changed from -1 +3 to +0 -3. So no longer decreases attack. I think it's going to be really good in Prisoner, for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
It runs in, it does damage, and then it lets you set up for, I don't know, even like a Sinister Matron. I'm sure there are better ones, like Whispering Demon, for instance.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Would love that. Um, maybe a Mutant Master to make it really bulky. Um,
Unstable mutant.
Unstable Mutant, definitely. Unstable Mutant's going to be really good in that. Really dangerous.
Mm.
I think Astral Guide will see a lot more play now.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
I think it's always cool that he can also dodge Scattershot. No one really plays around that anymore, but he has a 7 defense, so or 7 HP. So
Wait, who
no.
does?
Astral Guide.
Oh no, Astral Guide has oh, with the field change.
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Do I remember how to play Fatal Core? Man, I need some more coffee to remember how this game works. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's yeah.
Yeah,
Astral
so he's
Guide.
cool. He'll most likely survive. Like I don't think there's much that can. I mean, an established board could kill it. Like if you had an REL with like 4 corpses or something. But
Yeah, but
um,
that's like, when are you going to be playing Astral Guide that late? Like,
right, yeah,
probably not.
I think he's a
Um,
great turn 1, turn 2. He always resolves.
yeah, I think he's pretty good. So the Joanne card Alter in A has been renamed to Awaken, and its effect has been changed to erase a creature with 2 or less HP, summon a Sword Saint in its space. So a Sword Saint is a 5/5 token that has Hunt.
Right.
Um, so the new condition of erasing a creature with 2 or less HP is actually kind of tough to fulfill in Joanne sometimes with all of her plus
Mm.
HP. And
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
it's it's risky because you have to have a creature established with 2 or less HP, and then it needs to dodge damage to be sacrificed the next turn with Awaken.
Hmm.
So I think it has a
Mm.
nice risk versus reward factor to it.
Yeah, it's much more balanced than its previous effect, which was like what 6 or 5
Seven.
HP.
7 or
7. Oh
more.
god. Yeah. Oh.
It was really difficult to fulfill. This
Yeah.
is easier to fulfill, but more risky.
I could argue that the 7's easier to fulfill because of the +2 HP, but it was never worth it.
Yeah, it wasn't frequently worth it.
'Cause- yeah.
I mean, I think it was still difficult because, like, if it gets tapped by even like a Tremor or a Reviled Alchemist, you now can't play it. Whereas with this,
That's true.
what you can do is you can play a creature with like 2 HP into the +2 HP space, anticipating a Reviled Alchemist. And then it gets knocked down to 1 HP, and then you can sacrifice it with Awaken.
That's true. That's true.
So it allows for a lot of skillful play. I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I'm excited. I think it's worth trying,
Me too.
unlike the previous version.
Yeah, I guess to summarize most of our thoughts so far is nothing seems broken at first glance, but there are a lot of cool new things to try out
Right.
that will probably enable or strengthen some existing builds like Test Subject.
And
Um,
yeah, Joanne needs some buff too, so
yeah,
super nice.
yeah. Buffs outside of fixing card text with Noble Guardian and
Right.
Gambling Monk. So we already talked about Biohazard
Yep.
being moved down to C. Belle has a unique tag on her. She had that before, but it wasn't in the card text, so it's just clarification.
Right. I didn't
So
know that either until someone mentioned it, and I was like, oh,
me
okay.
neither. I think I heard it from you because like you tried putting 2 in a deck. I was like, wait,
Yeah,
really?
I own 3 right now, so I'm
Yeah,
selling
yeah.
a bell if anyone wants one.
Yeah, keep on bragging about your like 3 bells, your like city of gold that you live in, whatever. Ziel is finally being nerfed to slow 3, so let it be known that I think Ziel will still be a very strong card.
Yes.
I don't think he'll necessarily be double include. You can try double include because people really will not expect it after this
Right.
update, but I think he'll still be reasonable as a single copy.
Yeah, I think he's just he breaks the hunt mechanic, so it doesn't even matter if you're playing him turn 3. Like that's still insane.
Yeah.
I've heard some people say that like, oh, no one's going to play him now. I'm like, no, I don't think
No.
so. I think this might stop Barragast from being played as much because
Hopefully.
do you really want to play him? Hope like waiting for a turn 3 or 4 Ziel? Like,
Well,
probably not.
I think the butterfly effect from the Ziel nerf is people start playing more of other hunt cards like Bound Siren, Leyline Wolf, Noble Guardian, etc.
Hmm.
And so I think you should play Barghest if you weren't already, like even more often now. Because instead of there being a bunch of turn one ZLs, there are going to be turn one, turn two, Bound Siren, Noble Guardian, Leyline Wolf, and your Barghest can eat those. And if your opponent
Right.
plays ZL, he can eat that too. I think Barghest will still be very good. But
Yeah.
hopefully this nerf will allow some other hunt cards to shine some more as well.
Yeah. It's a lot of mind games, really.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Well, I mean, that's I guess that's the nature of Fatal Core. A lot of mind
exactly.
games.
Yeah. It's just Zeal is like busted. So like you have to play Baragust. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can win versus a like a powerful bound siren. Do you have a chance? Zeal resolving like 3 or 4 times, like oh my gosh, like that's or if they have Enthralled Phantom on the board with them or an
Hmm.
Ariel or they place Vengeful Scion. Like there's just so many 2 card combos with Zeal that are just ugly.
Yeah, like any corpse removal.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, well, I guess just talking more about ZL and why he really needs a nerf. Um, so as a hunt card, summoning that token has two effects, basically. So first of all, it deals damage to the opponent, as well as ZL hunting down a creature. So already that's really good. The
Hmm.
second thing it does is it spreads out risk with ZL being removed by cards like Reviled Alchemist, Bell, Expert Spell Thief. Like each turn damaging effects have a chance to hit the token instead of
Hmm.
ZL. So it gives ZL extra defense as well. And he already has good stats, 4 attack, 4 health.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, he's broken his shit, and I'm glad he's getting nerfed.
Yes. Me too. Me too.
um, last but not least is
Could be least.
maybe uh, Listless Devourer. His token, if you successfully pull him off, Energized Devourer is being buffed to 9 attack, 9 health, which he already had before. But each turn he deals 5 damage to a random opposing creature instead of 3, as it was previously.
Oh, was it 3? I was thinking it was 4, but I never got him off, so I don't know.
I think it was 3. I've only gotten him like once, so
Meh.
eh, might be good. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, he's a starter S card, so like you don't want him to be like Exodia, like instantly win the game. You want
Uh-huh.
him to be fairly strong to where it feels worth to sacrifice 4 things a lot of the time, but it doesn't like instantly win you the game.
Hmm. Yeah. I think his strong suit's always going to be like in a pawn deck or any kind of like shitty token spamming deck, like where you don't care if you're erasing those things.
Right, right. Compared to like Elemental Knights, where like they actually have reasonably good stats to where you want to keep them around a lot of the time.
Right. Yeah. There's not a really good reason to do that. So,
Yeah, but like Cinders and stuff, like sure,
yeah. So,
or
I don't know. I think
Pawns.
he's,
Yeah.
yeah. I think he's cool. I don't know.
Eh,
I kind of wish Lissus would have got an errata, and I always say that, and because I keep forgetting that everyone agreed not to errata him. But I also see your point, and I think that's a valid point that you don't want him to being overly busted. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
they're gonna get him if they pick Jetto. So
like if he wasn't a starter card, I would propose for a stronger buff. But since he is a starter card, I don't think he should be crazy, crazy good. Because, like,
right.
in comparison to, like, Jury, who's, like, pretty good, like, pretty solid, uh, good stats, good effect. Garada, very unique effect, which can be used for, like, very strong control. But she's somewhat difficult to use, so, like, situationally, she's really strong.
Right. Yeah, you can get fucked over with her pretty easily.
Yeah, if you don't play her carefully, you
Yeah,
can shoot yourself in the foot.
exactly.
So hopefully he'll be at a like similar power level to Jury and Garada after this.
Right. Yeah. And like I said, if you get him off with pawns or whatever, he is really rewarding. Like a 9/9,
Mm-hmm.
5 damage. Like that's effectively like a 5 hunt, essentially. And then you also
Yeah,
poke him for 9. Like that's pretty awesome. But it's just the risk you gotta do, the sacrifice.
yeah, it's a risk of the sacrifice, and then everything is condensed into one creature now, so you can get killed by an erase or leyline unification, for instance.
Right. And isn't listless like an end of turn?
It's each turn.
Oh, it's each turn? Okay.
Oh, you mean sorry. Energized is each turn with the damage effect. Listless is end of turn.
Yeah,
so you
that's
sacrifice.
Like another problem if they like trimmer or something.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't think it's going to change.
But... Yeah, maybe it will be changed to each turn in the future if this isn't good enough. Right. I could see it. So that covers the balance changes. I want to say we're about an hour into the podcast. So, wrap things up with the Patron of the Arts segment where we talk about the animated leads. So recently, the fabulous Zarthonic in the Discord, one of the artists for the game, illustrated and animated animations for the 3 lead characters currently in game: Jetto, Prisoner, and Joanne. And they look absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. I really love the animation itself just because
it flows really well.
It flows really well, and it's more eye-catching, I think. Definitely. I think a lot of online TCGs kind of do that, which, of course, you don't want to just mimic things. But it's more appealing. It's more
it looks really good. I think one of the biggest issues with Fatal Core right now is, please forgive me, but it looks like pure shit. And this will help it look better. Much better. There are, of course, I'm sure they're planning on prettying up the game in regards to the UI and things like that. But this is a good step in that direction to making the game look prettier. I think Joanne especially looks really good animated compared to her portrait. Because I never really liked her portrait. Like, I get that she's supposed to be like this weird, angelic alien thing. I'm not super familiar with the lore. I think animated with like the sigil and stuff beneath her and that, and like her galaxy cloak, I want to call it. She looks really cool.
Yeah, I think I think my favorite has to be. I mean, I'm a Joanne fan, but I think Jetto is probably like the detailing on his like thingamabob on his shoulder, and like just his outfit just looks so nice. I think.
Say some shit about his pants.
No, that's your job.
Oh, you're throwing the bean pants on me. This man stuffed Bush's baked beans by the handful into his pant legs. He is shoplifting from Costco. And you can see it in his fucking animation. They are filled with beans. Look at his legs. He's got bean pants. And he looks fucking amazing.
Yeah. If you're just listening, go watch this right now.
Look at it. It should be on screen. Look at Jetto's fucking pants.
Please, for the life of God.
But more importantly, look at the rest of him, because the detailing on his costume is exquisite.
Yeah, he's beautiful.
Yeah, Jetto looks really, really good. I'm a huge fan of this design. He is super detailed. I think it's tough for me to pick which one I think looks the best, because I think all 3 look really good. Prisoner looks pretty similar to her previous portrait, which is good. Mm-hmm. Because she looked pretty good before. She looks pretty good here. I like her background thingy as well. It's like all the mechanical stuff. I think I'm just going to be undecided and say I like all 3 quite a lot. They all have their merits. Maybe Joanne by a slight smidgen. I like the most.
Yeah. I don't. Besides the bean pants thing, that's kind of goofy. They look amazing.
Yeah, Jetto looks really good. Yeah.
So, I don't know, I'm really excited. I can't wait to. I think this is supposed to be like the graphic for like when you pick who you're loyal to or something.
Yeah, when you pick your starting character.
Yeah, so it'll be nice. I think it'll grab people's attention a lot more.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see that or something similar in game as well, like a portrait like that. I don't know if it would be animated or not, or if it would just be like an updated style, like a screen of like a frame of the animation. I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah. I don't know what else in the works.
Yeah,
Gaelic been a little quiet on that, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just in general making the game look more pretty.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's really hard and off-putting for new players, especially if they haven't like played a beta game before. So they're kind of expecting more like polished and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, trading card games, digital trading card games is it's a tough market. When you have games like Hearthstone, Gwent. I know Elder Scrolls Legends, like they're stopping support for that game, um, but there are a lot of really pretty polished games by well-established studios out there. So
Right.
it can be tough to compete. I'm optimistic for Fatal Core, both mechanically and with its mission statement. I think it
Hmm.
appeals to a lot of people who have been jaded by a lot of these, the way a lot of these card games are run. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think with the I think the thing that catches my eyes the most is just the how the game plays different.
Hmm.
It's not. I mean, it's very similar, but it's also very different in a lot of ways. So if you're familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic or what have you, you can figure out how to play the game, but it doesn't like try to copy other games, which
Yeah,
I think a lot of trade card games do.
it's very unique. There isn't like tapping for resources. There isn't like a mana ramping system, I guess, like Hearthstone.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's very unique. Uh, so it's an interesting puzzle to unravel, like learning how to play the game, what works, what doesn't, etc. And it's something that everybody is still trying to uncover. Like there are a bunch of combos that haven't really been played and experimented with, especially as the game continues development, balance changes are made, new things are added. It's yeah, I like this game. That's why I just spent an hour talking about it.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and just to think that how Game Wizard. I know he was here before I started, but like he became more active recently, and he made Gargoyles work. So
Yeah,
if you're
and that's yeah.
yeah, if you're hearing this and you're fairly new or you haven't tried it yet, I mean, there's a lot of chance that you could be better than us, and
Yeah,
because
definitely.
the gaming community is so small for us. So we're waiting for Garage to be dethroned.
Yeah,
So if you're
fucking beat my ass already. Like I think I'm average. Um, uh, yeah, get in, try things. You'll probably be the best player ever. Uh,
probably
I say probably. I guess I don't have a good metric for that, but um, yeah,
yeah,
experiment, play.
have
Uh,
fun.
oh damn, I was about to say that. Yeah, have fun.
Yeah, we didn't write that together, so
Yeah,
um, yeah. So I think that's a good stopping point for the first podcast.
yeah. If you made it through this entire thing, shout out to you.
Yeah,
Um, you know, you're great. You're wonderful. You're beautiful. You're validated. I agree
don't
with
change.
you on most of your opinions. Don't change. Uh,
If you're listening this far, please leave in the comments Beanpants. We'll know what that means, and we'll know that you watched it all.
uh, okay, well, let me be the dissenting opinion. You don't have to say that. But if you do say that, it will tickle Oz in a way nobody has ever tickled him before.
It's true. I've
So
never been tickled.
yeah, so if you want to give him a special Christmas present, type
Yeah,
Bean Pants,
please.
please. He needs it.
I'll leave a link down below for the Discord. Please join if you haven't already.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
leave the link to the website to play Fatal Core. I think it's better if you also join the Discord, which we could talk about that in another episode about how that's kind of annoying. But I think you should join the Discord if you're going to play the game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, you see our little Twitter handles. Neither of us really like Twitter, I don't think, but
Are you
you
kidding
can.
me? Twitter is my favorite thing ever. I love sending pictures of shit nobody cares about.
Yeah, follow for buns.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I post rabbits sometimes. So, follow. Oz, he tweets pictures of his bugs.
yeah, I have bugs.
Sometimes he goes out drinking with them and he provides live updates. So check it out.
All
But
right. Well,
yeah, thank you so much for listening, watching,
yeah.
however you choose to consume our voices. Um, I appreciate you, and I wish you a happy holiday new year.
Yeah. See you next episode.
Yeah, see ya. This is Garage signing off the Fatal Cast.